Hey, so in this video I talk about my feel good tattoo. About 2 months ago I made a short showing the tattoo, then zooming into a racetrack. Race cars are flying by, kind of indicating that I have a great time. And some guy comments, dumb tattoo though kid, and I was like, I still have a sick tattoo and you don't, so what's up with the negativity? But yeah, maybe it's like a dumbly simple tattoo to just put that front of me with huge letters on my arm, but I really had like this purpose of just having that there. So I have tattooed Feel Good on my left arm and Target on my right arm because I really have this observation about my life and every day is that day is good if I either feel good, which is like I do some activity that is for the present moment that I genuinely enjoy, that is like recreational, spending time with friends or family, going on a holiday, vacation, going in nature, hiking, sightseeing, hobbies. So something that's the end goal in life to do all those. Or I can do Target, which is something that maybe I don't enjoy it. It's a sacrifice, but it's for a greater good. It's for making future days feel good and enjoyable. And so these two ways of making my day actually worth it. And an obvious anti-example of this, or like having none of these, is, for example, having to study, having to do work to make your future moments enjoyable, like having a good career, and instead of that you catch yourself doing 3 hours of TikTok session, which is like procrastination filler activity that it's mildly enjoyable and kind of like distracts you from having to do studying, but at the same time you feel bad because you don't get stuff done and it's still in front of you, but you don't even go out for to like some actually meaningful enjoyable activity like being on the beach with your friends. So you kind of like sit between two chairs on the ground, as we could say it. So I think it's really important to me to have these two words front of me and kind of remind me to like spend my days with either going towards a goal or enjoying the fruit of past investment days. Okay, the second kind of story about choosing this tattoo is I had like about 5 years ago a day when I had this depressing realization, and maybe that was like a sign of depression, that an average wage slave person, so the average person in on this earth like spends most of his life doing things that he doesn't enjoy, or like having to do not 80 or 95% of your time just do stuff, chores, errands that you just have to do to keep up your life. I mean, you're born, you have some fun there until the age of 6 or something, but then you have to go to the cool school system. Some people like to study, some people don't. I was like kind of liking it not at the same time. Then works like work life, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger said that 75% of people don't like what they're doing, and that's just actually I saw a video about this that's just the harsh reality of life. That there are a lot of stuff that has to be done in this world, and people just convinced to do it by giving them wages, and they don't get wages, then they just die from starvation. And I feel like evolutionarily back in caveman days, yes, maybe life was tougher, but people literally just had to hunt, and a lot of hunter gatherers are like nowadays the few of them that are there. They just hunt down the animals, maybe build some nests or how do you call it, and then they just have fun. So I feel like this capitalist life and wanting a lot of stuff and having to do a lot of stuff kind of made us stuck here. But yeah, like, so adult life, you do your 40 hours a week of just random activity that you have to do to have money and not starve to death, then you have all these chores that you have to do, like commute to work, commute back, showering, um, taking care of yourself, buying food, cooking food, doing the dishes. Like, is there anybody that likes to do the dishes, doing laundry? Uh, then maybe I just at the night I just have too little energy to do anything meaningful. So I just, like I said, zone off and watch some stupid videos. And even on days off, you just left with chores that you didn't have energy to do during the day. And I was like, this life is not worth living. This like sucks. This is our only one lifetime to live, and this is what we do. Because I remember watched an interview with Dan Bilzerian. He's like a really controversial figure. But the point I'm making here, he's rich and he can just outsource these chores to other people, so he doesn't have to do them. So he said like he lives 10 lifetimes of an average person, because he just all day he can just do things that genuinely interest him or genuinely fun to him. And so I was really upset that this average person, we are all stuck in having to do a lot of stuff and not finding a way out of this hamster wheel. And I was like, really, I said this life is not worth living. But then I was like realizing, what do I do then? And I was like, if I choose to live, then I have to, it's only worth to live, feeling good. So I just decided, if I, at least for a while, I have to accept the reality that this is life. And even I have to sacrifice that little fun time into, doing some hustle or something to get to a higher paying activity that leaves me more free time. So I decided I had to live with some sort of background happiness. I have to just make the decision that even, you're stuck in a hamster wheel, you should still be happy. So that was kind of like the decision. And now we're coming. The third part is I can't talk. So I read a book called Buddha's Brain, which is a really amazing book. It kind of examines Buddhism from the perspective of neuroscience and psychology. It's really, really interesting to me. And at the beginning of the book, they talk about neuroplasticity. It's one important thing in this, is the brain is changing. Even if you're 70, it's constantly changing. With each of your thought, you make certain brain areas more active, more blood is flowing there, more nutrients are flowing there, and it builds neural connections. So if you think about something a lot, you physically change your brain and make a highway of those thoughts. And the problem is that we have a narrow negativity bias from as an evolutionary inheritance, because the reality of evolution and life is that negative things can kill you in an instant. If you're a caveman and you don't pay attention to the moving bushes and assume that there might be a predator behind it, you might die in an instant. But lack of positive things, you can take weeks to die from starvation. So the lack of negative things, and because of that, the presence of negative things is not that much of a big deal. So evolutionarily, we have this unfair bias of being negative and being instantly react to like negative information, and not that much reactive of blessings and things that we have to be grateful for. So there was the conclusion for this is you should spend time taking in the good, which is my conclusion was for this like wage slave life, that you should have a daily reminder, which I put here, of taking time to roll your mind on your most happy memories, gratitude, good vibes, and like consciously build some sort of positive highway in your brain and make the landscape of your mind more positive. And like I said, even if I'm at the point of my life that I'm just in this hamster wheel of doing a job that I don't like, and after that chores, I should still build some sort of happiness for myself. And like I said, this is why I put it in front of me to have spend every morning and evening 5 minutes to like roll in my mind in good stuff. So that's all about for this video. I really hope that it was actually pretty entertaining for you, and yeah. So I do plan to make videos about my tattoos, and if you like that, subscribe for more.